What's up peeps, it's Sorrel Plays here and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you a few things you might not have known about. Some of these things I've found out recently, some of these things I knew before but I forgot, and I think that it's important to talk about them. So I'm showing you today, as you can see on my friends bar, I've got over 100 friends right now, so it's difficult for me to get to accounts like my second plus accounts to buy stuff from. And I just wanted to show you this little tip, and I don't know whether people know about this, but you know, it's definitely something I need to mention. So I've come to my other account here and I'm going to buy something, so we put that on and we buy it. And the main thing I want to show you here is that I don't have to keep going back home to be able to buy more things from this account. All I've got to do is revisit the same cafe within the club tent. So we're going to press on the visit tab on Doggy Cafe here, so we can go back there and buy other stuff. So we put the things back on, and automatically it will refresh and show you the new thing you've put on. So I'm going to do this several times just to show you that it works. So we revisit again. Every time we revisit, it's a bit like going back home and coming back, but you don't need to scroll through all those friends again. So a handy tip, if you have started up that second account, or you do have another account, to be able to buy things without the hassle of scrolling through that list again. It's going to be quicker for you, and it is a guaranteed refresh every time. So we put the last thing on now, the latte, and we've grabbed that. And also I find that doing it this way, there isn't a lag. Now I don't know if that's going to be the same all the time, but at the moment we've got this problem with the game lagging, as a lot of you know. It's nothing to do with your connection or the device you're using. I mean, my connection is pretty bad where I live, but you know, generally it's not affected this badly, and right now that's the way it's been. So I just wanted to show you this tip. I'm going to move on to other tips now, but as you can see, scrolling through this list is a bit of a nightmare, and you can avoid doing that. You just do it the once and go through there. Just wanted to show you something else as well, that if you've got a lot of people on your list, all you've got to do is go in your tent to see if anyone's got any helping hands within your group, so you know that they need help. Obviously you have to prioritize helping your group first, and that's the other tip I wanted to show you. Just go through the tent rather than scrolling through your friends list. And of course the same strategy applies if you are purchasing something from a team member. So for example, if we go to one of my friends' cafes, one of my members' cafes, and I'm buying something, I'm not going to be doing that because I haven't arranged to buy anything, but I'm just going to show you that it's exactly the same procedure to be buying something from your friends. A lot of the time we sell items one by one if we're worried about losing them when the market's fast. So this is a really good way to get round that. So we just go to the tent, and again we just tap on the person whose cafe we're already at, and we don't have to keep going back home to come back and have a look at Stella's to buy what we need to buy. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you, recently on the Food Street communities on Facebook, we've been talking about tokens. There is a way, but it doesn't work with every device. It doesn't work on this device on my phone. I've got a Samsung S7. But you know, with tokens, so if you wanted to get some tokens, you'd go into your normal place, you know, in the tent, and you'd press the tokens button, and then you'll get the tokens, and you think, oh god, I don't need those. I mean, a lot of us have been getting rainbow lately. You just come out of the game, and you close your tabs, a bit like the spinning the wheel thing I showed you about a week back. It does work on some devices. It works on my daughter's tablet. I doubt it'll work on here. We had 22 blue tickets, and let's just check if we've still got those or not. It might have registered those tokens, but it does work on some devices, so you could definitely try that if you are getting repetitive tokens. Let's go back and have a look. I don't think it's worked. Yeah, I've got 18 now, so those tokens have gone in the chest, but that's something you could try. And the other thing which we talked about, I actually forgot about this when I first started this game, and you know, I was so new to everything, and I was looking around, and straight away I was the way I'm inclined to be, you know, trying to work out some strategies and whatever else. And I noticed this delete button next to the tokens. So if I just tap into one, you can sell your tokens. And I actually forgot about this until somebody mentioned it the other day, because the first time I saw it, I was like, why would you want to delete your tokens, you know, if you're not going to get anything out of it? But I need to mention, for example, the one we just looked at, the rainbow, that sells for 100 coins. So you're not actually deleting your tokens. I don't know whether it was like this at the beginning, or whether that's an update. But I do seem to remember that you could delete them but not sell them. But now that I know, now that I've been reminded that you can actually sell those, but I do need to mention that they're all different prices. So that one's 30 coins, that one's 30, that one's 50, and you've got 30. So the rainbow ones sell for the most. So if you are getting loads of rainbows, you can sell them at 100 coins each. Of course, they're kind of, well, we pay blue tickets for them, but they are free when you get them. So if you want to sell them, then you can of course do that. The other thing is, we all know about requesting tokens, and if you request them before your event starts, or before you start your event, because the request for the tokens isn't there until your event starts, the little box that, I can't do it now because I've got a request up, but if you do that, you tend to get more tokens that you're not desperate for, rather than starting the event and then you are stuck because it's going to give you the tokens that you don't need, the ones you've already got. The other thing I wanted to mention, I'm going to go into this in more detail in the next few days because me and my group haven't started the event yet, but the way I prepare, I mean, somebody asked me this question the other day about maximizing points on your event, so I will go into detail about that. But the first thing you need to do is get your orders ready and stock up, as we know, and we all do. So I've got these 3 orders ready, but I have maxed out my food club storage. Now, of course, you're risking that you could start the event. I mean, as long as you've got these 3 ready, then, you know, the chances that you're going to get stuck and have a full capacity as soon as you start and not be able to complete any orders, it's not going to happen in this case, because we've got, how many items have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items that are going to be out of your storage capacity the minute you start. Within a few seconds when you start. But what I do is I top up on everything. I stock up on everything, especially the things that take the longest to make. And of course you'll be doing that all the way through your event, and we can still make more stuff. But what I would like to say is that when you're making stuff, be careful not to use the things in these 3 orders which are ready. So for example, if I make loads of things and I end up without the meat for here, without the mini donuts for here, no, you can't end up without the mini donuts. You can end up without the sprinkles, and you can end up without the meat. So that's what you've got to be careful with. So for example, if I cook a few things like this, I will ensure that I've got 1 meat left, as you can see there, so that these don't turn into incompletable orders. So that's something you need to be careful of. And we've got 1 sprinkles, for example. So if we make a snow cone, of course we can pick up the ones we've made here, but you need to be really careful of that. So if it's ingredients, for example, that are on your ready list, on your ready menus, and you use them to make something else, because we're trying to maximize the amount of stuff we've got in our capacity to begin with, because that always helps at the beginning of an event. Straight away you've cleared up some space, and if you've got loads of things stocked up, ready and made, you're not going to be waiting around. So if we cook this, for example, it's not going to affect anything in our menu list over here. So that's just what you've got to watch out for. Of course, we need a lot more of these excuse me, mini donuts, for example. We've only got 2 here, so we need to plant some sugar. We need to pick up some sugar, and we can go on there and make 2 more of those. So instantly you've made a bit more, and it does help you. I mean, we were 55 out of 55, we're now 51 out of 55. As long as you're not using the things on your ready orders, of course you've got time before you start. You can always delete all 3 of these if you do make that mistake, and just carry on restocking. But that's what I do to ensure that I get high points, and I can make up to, I have been known to make up to 20,000 points in one day, and this is the strategy I use. So that's just to begin with. I mean, when I start playing the event, I could do a little video about how to maximize your points on there, but to begin with, you need to make sure you've stocked up as much as you can, and you need to make sure you have the free orders ready, so that when you're starting the event, you're not stuck straight away, and you can start racking up those points and, reach the first milestone, which will instantly ensure that you are ready to play. And then you can start unlocking these boxes, getting your hearts on there. Okay, the other thing I wanted to mention, now I'm pretty sure people know about this, but just in case you don't, it's again something I should mention. When you look in your fridge, for example, so for example you're selling something to one of your friends, and it's either if it's the last thing you've cooked, and you look in your fridge when you're about to sell something. I'm not going to be selling anything now, but the oldest thing you made will always be in the first box, and the newest thing you've made will always be in the last box. So whether you buy it or make it, everything that's new is going to be all these things at the bottom here. If you've already got, for example, the pizza, for example, and you buy another one off the world, the new one you buy will join this one up there, so it'll be at the top. So these foods, you can see which ones have been in the fridge the longest, the top ones, working your way down. I'm making omelettes at the moment for Chef, and they will instantly go into here. But anything you don't have, you buy something off the world, it will be in the last box. So if you're trying to sell something to one of your group members, you kind of had that timing strategy where they feel like you've definitely put it on by now, and you go in. I mean, in my group, we usually say go in 10 seconds after I've said it's on. But sometimes when you're trying to look for the thing you're trying to sell somebody, you're looking everywhere and you just can't find it, and then you'll go over the 10 seconds and they've already gone in and they can't see it. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I think the newest players to Food Street will need to hear about this if you don't already know. Especially when you're playing Chef, and if you're playing the event or you're preparing for a truck. This is again something somebody wanted me to mention, so I'm doing that now. For example, we've got a full fridge and we need to make these. So we've got one there. You're not gonna be able to make another one until Oh, okay, I always get calls while I'm doing recording. Okay, you're not going to be able to make another one until you pick that one up. But if it's something like something else on your truck, again, this isn't the best example, but you can make stuff without picking stuff up as well. So you can store them on top of your machines like I've got here. I'm not picking those up because I'm worried that I'm going to go over my capacity in the fridge. So I can try and give you an example. For example, let's go with what can we go with? These fried chicken. There isn't anything sitting on there, but if you wanted to make fried chicken, you've got a samosa sitting on your machine, you can go directly into this menu and use the question mark to get there without picking up, for example, the samosa. So let's try with these omelettes. So chef's given me a challenge and I need to make omelettes, but I don't want to pick up the ones I've already got. Oh no, that's not going to work again. Okay, I haven't got the greatest example here, but let's think about maybe eggs. We don't have anything with eggs here, but what uses eggs? Pancakes, for example. So just say you want to make pancakes. Oh yes, hang on. This is it. What you can do, not to pick up these omelettes. Now, you need to be a bit familiar with what's cooked on which station here. So, for example, I want to make more omelettes, but I don't want to pick up the ones I've made. And I know that pancakes are made on the same station. So I will go through the pancake route and put the rest of my omelettes on without picking up the ones that are sitting on the top. Ideally, I'd like to pick them up when I'm ready to complete this order on Chef and not stop myself continuing with my game by filling up my fridge. So that is what I wanted to demonstrate to you. It hasn't been the best way of doing it, but that is the way you can do it. So basically, if I wanted to make a prawn pizza, but I've got a mushroom pizza sitting there, I'll go through the mushroom pizza in order to be able to put the prawn one on, the seafood pizza on, or if I wanted to put a potato pizza on but not pick up the other pizza that's sitting there. So that's a way to get round a full fridge situation. Hopefully I've made that clear enough. I've gone round the houses a little bit because I couldn't think of an example, but that's that one there. What else? I wanted to mention trucks. I mean, I have noticed on my friends list that there's certain people, and on one of my other accounts I get really difficult trucks all the time. So if you send your truck away, the one that comes immediately after it, 6 hours later after you've sent that truck away, you'll get an easier one, and that's guaranteed. So if you are unlucky and you do keep getting difficult trucks, do send your truck away and try to get a better one. Then the system kind of recognises that you're unable to complete those hard trucks, and it does start sending you better ones. It might not happen with every truck, but if you send the most difficult trucks away, you will get easier trucks. What else? Okay, saws. Now, I'm having a problem with saws at the moment. I haven't got any. But what I wanted to say is that when you either buy saws off the market, or you get one on your video or on your wheel, or you requested them and they're in your pantry, don't get rid of your trees as soon as you have that one saw. You can always go in and buy the saws with gems so that you've got one or two sitting in your pantry, because the game tends to give you what you already have. So if you've got loads of gloves, it will keep giving you gloves. If you've got saws, you will keep getting saws. So that's one of the tips I wanted to talk about. What else? I've noticed that there's a lot of restaurants that have a lot of dead trees, the dead tree cafes. When I started this game, I was in that position as well. After a few weeks of playing it, you know, I didn't know about how rare the saws would be. Of course, that does depend on your account as well. You could be struggling on gloves, or you could be struggling on saws. But what I wanted to say is, if you want to get back on track with saws, and this is how I did it in the end, apart from the last thing I just told you about keeping them in your pantry, do not do takeouts that require tree items. That's a big no-no, because you'll just get one after the other, you'll kill all your trees, and once you have killed a few trees, the game will not be giving you saws. It's part of the challenge, I suppose. Kind of wish it didn't work that way. I wish we did get more saws, because I really hate, it's so unsightly seeing all those dead trees in your calf. So that's one of the things I wanted to say. Also, do check your menus when you've got things that are coming up as, you know, pineapples or apples, for example, this one. Just get rid of those. If you're low on saws, do not pluck your trees and give out tree items. If you're low on gloves, you know, the same thing applies again. Do buy as many apples and tree items off the world as you possibly can, and just refrain from giving out takeouts. It's not worth it. I mean, it's 10 points. Of course, if you're ahead in chef, it's you know, not a big deal. If you're behind a little bit, just send those takeouts away, because it's not worth killing your trees over. The 5 gems that you're going to gain from being first in chef is only going to get you basically 1 saw. You can't get 2 saws even with that, so it's not worth doing. You know, you're better off just coming second or third instead of killing all your trees for a few takeouts. You know, it's 10 points. And if you want to get takeouts one after the other, you send one away, visit someone's cafe. You could visit Stella, she's at the top, so it's easy, and come back, and you'll get a new takeout every time you do that. And the other thing would be, so for example, I've got the dead tree here, and if I buy the 3 gems to get rid of this tree, I won't have any left in my pantry. And even if I did that with all 3 of these, there won't be any in the pantry. So going with the strategy of keeping some saws in your pantry, just go straight through the increased storage section. So I could spend 33 gems now and get 11 saws to ensure that I've got some in my pantry. And I've tried it, and before you know it, you know, you start getting lucky. You do get some popping up, because it, you know, the system knows that you don't really need any now because you just bought them. And funnily enough, you will start being able to buy them off the world as well. I mean, at the moment, all the saws seem to be gone so quick just because I've got none. But when I've got 20 saws sitting in my pantry, I'm also able to buy all the ones off the world. So I don't know whether that's just a coincidence or luck, or whether that is another thing. You know, the game kind of registers that you've got that thing. It's like measuring tapes. I mean, I bought 10 measuring tapes while I had another 6 or something in here. While I've got pantry planks, I find stuff on the world. I find planks on the world. If I don't have any instructions, I never manage to buy them. They're always gone. So that could be something else. Again, I think it might be a coincidence, but just something to bear in mind. When you have the things in your pantry, you just don't seem to have a problem getting them, whichever way you're doing that. So, I think I'm done for that video. Can't think of anything else at the moment. I will do another short video if I do think of something. Again, you know, comment in the comments below if you've got any other little strategies that we should all know about. I mean, it's all about helping each other and trying to make the game as much fun as possible, and trying to stop people leaving, because it's a shame. You know, a lot of people are saying, well, I'm sick of it, I don't get any saws, and whatever else. These are just some of the things you can do to help yourself, and just try to enjoy the challenge a bit more, because you know that you've got a few little tricks and tips up your sleeve to be able to get around some of the more difficult issues that we all love and hate. Okay guys, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.